How's it going, everybody? Chris Card's back through the mail. Monday, 6 returns for you today on this glorious August 19th, 2024. Our first one I teased a couple of weeks ago, forwarded from my old address with an old stamp on. I haven't used those Sesame Street stamps in a long time. A lot of cards in here. Let's see who we have for return number 1. We've got Doug Corbett. Doug Corbett, an 8-year career, spent 5 with the Angels, 3 with Twins. Got into 11 games as an Oriole his final year in 1987. Did not sign the 83 tops for whatever reason. 1981 All-Star, finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year balloting in 1980 when he was 27 years old as a rookie. Signed the 87 tops Tiffany card. There you guys go. For the set, very nice. Doug Corbett, $3 a card. I sent him 7 cards and $21. And for whatever reason, maybe he just missed the 83 tops card. In fact, I sent this not that long ago. I'm not sure how it got into an older envelope now that I'm thinking about it out loud here. Maybe I've had an old pre-stamped envelope I came across and used. I can't imagine I would have done that. I do not have my old address stamper, which I put away in a box since I'll never use it ever again. So I wouldn't have accidentally stamped it with my old address. So and had an old stamp on it too. So this is not the tease I thought it would be. This is not an older return or a long return from anybody in particular. I think Doug Corbett was just a couple weeks. $3 a card. Chris, what are you going to do with 6 signed Doug Corbett cards? Well, I'm going to do put 1 in my set that I'm chasing, 87 tops. And the other 5, I have no idea, my friends. You should see the thousands of cards I have signed that I have no idea what I'm going to do with. So there's that. FYI, in case anyone's wondering out there, let's see who we have for return number 2. Carroll Stream, Illinois, for our next return here. As we move this little piece of shrapnel out of the way, we have an unsigned index card as well as Quinn Prester. Quinn Prester, first-round draft pick of the Pirates back in 2019. 18th overall. Got into 10 games for the Pirates last year in 2023. 10 games for the Pirates this year in 2024 before being shipped off to the Boston Red Sox at the trade deadline for their former number 1 pick, Nick York, who was drafted 17th overall back in 2020. Of course, he inscribed to Chris on the Bowman First card, one of the glossy variety, one paper version. Signatures came out pretty decent, even on these super glossy cards, which I did prep. Quinn Prester in the Boston Red Sox organization now in the minors. He is on their 40-man, so hasn't done that great as a starter or a reliever so far yet in his big league career, but signed these cards very nicely for me. Very nice. There's his information. I mentioned he doesn't sign during the season, so I don't know if I got lucky or what happened. Quinn Prester, there's information. Maybe you can sign to the Red Sox minor league facility and have a little luck as well. I'm not sure. Glad to get these back. Got a current player. Very cool. Let's move on, guys, to return number 3. All right, friends. Our next envelope stamped from Montgomery, Alabama here. And we've got Pete Coachman on a 91 score. That massive 91 score set that has like 3,000 cards in it, as well as a line drive card. Pete Coachman got into 16 games for the California Angels back in 1990, originally drafted in the 11th round back in 1984 of the Angels. Got 49 plate appearances, hit .311, and never spent another day in the big leagues ever again, although he did hit. He had a decent average at every single place he stopped at in the minors, including the Mexican League as well, but just never got to crack the big league roster again. Not sure why. He was a second, third baseman, infielder. Perhaps they thought he didn't have enough power for the position he played, but good average. I mean, a lot of teams in 2024 would love to have this guy hitting .311 on their team. So there you guys go. Pete Coachman, great signer. Did ask him for an inscription, which he did not do. Nice to get these cards back signed regardless. Let's move on, guys, to return number 4. Santa Clarita, California for return numero 4. And looks like we've got a handwritten note here. Chris, thank you for writing. It's an honor to sign your cards. Stay well. Carmen Fanzone. Carmen Fanzone, what a great last name. Signed some 74 Topps cards for me for my set. Rick Russell as well as Gene Heiser signed the team card, and he signed a signature card as well as Russell and just Carmen on there, I think. Very nice return from Carmen Fanzone, who spent 5 years in the bigs as a utility infielder for the Cubs. In fact, he played corner outfield position as well. Very versatile. Started up with the Boston Red Sox, but was traded pretty quickly for Phil Gagliano there back in 1970. Spent the next 4 years with the Cubs. Nice return from Carmen Fanzone. Nice to get these signature card added to as well. I think Don Kessinger would be a good candidate to send those 2 cards off to next. Carmen is now a professional trumpeter. In fact, he was a pretty good trumpeter even back in his playing days. In 72, prior to a Cubs game, he used the trumpet to play the national anthem. Married to 4-time Grammy Award nominee Sue Rainey, who was a jazz vocalist. So very musical family. Fanzone, nice return from him. Let's move on, guys, to return number 5. Tampa St. Pete for our next return here. And we have index card unsigned. We've got an 84 Topps card of, looks like John Stuper here. 4-year career. 82 World Series champion, of course, Game 6 complete game starter in that World Series against the Brew Crew. One of the best rookie performances in World Series history. Signed as well a batting and pitching leaders card. Lonnie Smith does sign through Pass Pros, I think $10 a card, so can get that one completed for the 84 Topps set. Very short career. 82 and 83 were by far his best years in the bigs. Of course, 82 Game 6 complete game, 13-1 victory against the Brewers. Went on after his career to coach and manage the Yale Bulldogs from 93 to 2022, winning as coach in their history. Glad to get these 2 cards signed for my set. Can't wait to finish off the card with a Lonnie Smith. Stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up in an upcoming episode of Through the Mail Monday. And let's move on, guys, to our last return of the day. San Antonio, Texas, the Rio Grande district. We've got a lot of stuff in this envelope. I'm not quite sure where to open it. We're going to have to do one of these so I don't accidentally rip anything important. Looks like we got something super glossy in here. Looks like a photo. Could just be a photograph taking up the entire envelope. And we've got some answered questions as well. Very nice. Anything else in here? Nope. That's everything. We've got all sorts of stuff in here. Very strange looking photo from the looks of it from here. Let's find out who we have for our final return of this week's Through the Mail Monday. We've got Rodney Pedroza. Rodney Pedroza never played in the major leagues, was a 4-time All-Star in the Japanese leagues, played in the minors from 91 to 2003. Thereabouts for the Expos, Rockies, and the Rangers. And we've got, Rod Pedroza here. Very nice signed here, as well as a couple of full-on photos with him and his 3 daughters, I do believe, signed the Topps card there. Try to get that completed. And, of course, we got one of those sweet Stadium Club cards where they're dressed to the nines there. And he was a really good reliever, really good save guy in Japan. Like I said, 4-time All-Star. Never got a crack at the big leagues, unfortunately. Although he, according to these photos he sent, he must have enjoyed his years in Japan. Let's find out what these questions are here. How many autograph requests do you typically receive each week or month? He says it varies from week to week, sometimes 3 to 4, and sometimes 0. They come from the States, of course, and quite a few from Japan and Taiwan. Is there any pet peeves? I don't have anything that bothers me. I like signing stuff. Gives me a chance to give back to the fans. We love to hear that, don't we, guys? How different was the game in Japan? I would assume as a closer, the game would be pretty similar. They play a smaller style game every inning where they play for the big... they play a smaller style game over there. With every inning here, they play for the big inning. Other than that, it was pretty close. I don't have any Japanese cards offhand, but I'm sending back a couple of picks we took when I went back to throw out a first pitch. I was very honored to have that privilege. Hope you like them. Even signed the questionnaire. Very nice return from Mr. Rodney Pedraza. Very cool return. I'll have to look. I think I did see a Japanese card on there. I think 2000 Upper Deck Ovation had an 80 or 90 card set released in Japan, and I think I'm gonna look that up real quick. And yeah, here it is. I'm gonna actually try to buy this card. Very nice return, by the way, from Ronnie. Really a nice return to end the video on. Very gracious with his time. As you can see, I did send him extras, extra cards for him to keep, which he did keep. I mean, I go on Card Barrel, and if I find out guys like to keep cards, and they're 15, 20 cents a piece, I'm just gonna buy 2 or 3. Might as well, right? So bought a couple extras for him, which he kept. Very nice return from Rod. I'm going to buy this Japanese card, and it is Upper Deck Ovation from 2000, I do believe, and it is a Japanese set. And I'm going to try to buy this card and send it off to Rod so he has a Japanese League card for his own personal collection. And that is it, my friends. Through the Mail Monday number 291. Put it in the books. Thanks for joining me. Hit that subscribe button. I do this every single Monday. Have done it for the last 291 straight weeks in a row. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's returns. And as always, like the video if you like the video. I really do appreciate it. And what else is there to say? For those that saw my Instagram photos of me at Safeco Field, not Safeco, T-Mobile Park this weekend in Seattle. Yes, it was a absolutely dreadful weekend to be a Mets fan. Went up there and had a great time in Seattle. Great time with my buddy Russell, 2 S's, 2 L's. It was his birthday weekend. Saturday was his birthday. Had a great time. Other than going to the games, which are absolutely brutal. Lots of Met fans at T-Mobile Park. Just we had a couple Let's Go Met chants. Boy, if they did anything positive at all, either Friday or Saturday, that place would have just taken over the park. We just would have exploded. But we literally had I think we had one runner on first and second, in the first or second game, and we got a little chant going, and that was about it. And it was pretty sad, guys. It was bad. Now I looked this up again. I've gone to 10 games in Seattle to see the Mets and the Mariners play. They've lost 9 of those, and they won 1. 4 of those being shutouts, and just absolutely brutal. Of course, I went to 3 Giant games this year, Mets and Giants, and they won only 1 out of the 3 there. So I've seen they're 1-6 now on the or they're 1 out of 6, I guess I should say. 1 win, 5 losses. Seeing them this year in person, so just brutal, absolutely brutal, guys. Nothing to cheer for. Miserable. You're sitting amongst the Mariner fans who are cheering and having a great time, and you're wearing your Mets gear, and you feel like 3 feet tall. You feel like you just want to curl up and disappear. It wasn't fun, especially Sunday when he lost 12-1 or 13-1 or whatever it was. I mean, it was a Jeff McNeil home run. That was the only thing to cheer about the entire weekend, and by that time, you were beat down as a fan so much. He hit the home run. It was just ho-hum. It was almost ridiculous. It's almost like you just wanted to cheer sarcastically. You know how they do it in the East Coast when the pitcher throws 10 straight balls and then throws a strike and he gets a standing ovation. I mean, that's kind of how it was when the Mets, when Jeff McNeil hit that solo home run on Sunday. It was just an absolute brutal game. I was rooting for Cal Raleigh to hit a grand slam in, I think, the 8th inning, because he had a 2-run homer and a 3-run homer. And at that point, I'm just hit a grand slam. I don't care. It's 12-1. I don't care what he does. And he hit it pretty far, didn't hit it out of the park for his 3rd home run of the game. At that point, you're just delirious with misery, and you don't care anymore. So glad to see it didn't do much better in Oakland, against Oakland at home on Tuesday. They lost again. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Seattle trip, other than watching the Mets get decimated by the Mariners, was fun. We did some other cool things. Here's a few pictures or whatever of some of the fun stuff we did. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me on this week's Through the Mail Monday. Only 6 returns today. I've been 7, 8 recently. Usually I've actually been on a streak of 8, so not as many to open today as the last few weeks. Thanks, guys, again for joining me. Hope everyone has a great week. See ya.
Tampa Bay